friends and neighbors, and welcome to a special edition of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. We hear you. We hear you, Bomber fans. You asked for one of the all-time great linemen in the Canadian Football League, Blue Bomber legend, Winnipeg's own Chris Walby. We got him, and I'm excited. Mr. Walby, welcome to Ray and Benny Talk Sports.
Thanks, man. I was appreciating you for a while there. I thought you would ask for Stan Mikolas. You know, it's like I was getting, okay, let me give him a call, man. We can pull him in here, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you guys. Listen, I love these things. I think this is the wave of the future. You know, this whole podcast thing, it's great. I mean, you know, I got introduced this with Darren Bombing. I think you might know Darren Bombing.
Yeah, Bonfire Sports, for sure.
A little podcast called Bonfire Sports. Now a little plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Can afford a real shirt. Who knows, man? But, no, it's great to be with you guys, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it. We'd love to hear about your path to the CFL and your path to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Were you like both of us when we were in school dreaming about being Blue Bombers one day, or is it something that just came upon you? What's your story?
Yeah, that's great because you know what, in all honesty, football was not my sport. As many people know, I played hockey till junior, which was like 20 years old, almost like semi-pro, whatever. I was a horrible football player. I only played high school, I think in grade 12 with St. John's. And I mean, well, I was 6'7", 180 pounds. You know, it's hard for people to believe that when you think about it. I mean, I was basically walking a human coat hook. Big Adam's apple. People would hang their coats on me and say, "Hey, nice." And I'd walk with their stuff, right? But you know, it was. I liked football, but I didn't think it was going to be my game. And you know, I was very fortunate that you know, it's like anything else when guys get involved, they get involved through peer pressure, your friends. So my friend said to me, "Hey, let's try out for," and I actually was St. John's in grade 12, right? And I played 1 year, and Graham Killing was my coach. And I'll remember this, that nobody would do drills with me because they was thinking, "Hey, get out of Walby's line, man. You'll be doing drills forever." I couldn't do the rollover shit. I mean, I was rolling over, hitting them and going, again. Jesus Christ, this practice is going to go way past, you know. And then I thought, okay. I'm okay. I'm getting bigger. I'm starting to fill my body out. Next year, I go out to try out for the Hawkeyes. And the Hawkeyes never cut anybody. And I always tell the story because it's true. It drives me crazy still. And I'm going to all my buddies, and you know we're trying out. And this is a team that's on McPhillips, the Winnipeg Hawkeyes, great junior football team.
Yeah.
And a guy, a head coach or whatever, calls me over and goes, "Walls, yeah, come here." I go, "Yeah, coach." He goes, "Man, this is not your sport. I just got to tell you right now, man. If I was you, find another sport." So here I am. I didn't have a car at the time. My friends drove me. I had to put all my shit in a garbage bag. Then I had to watch their practice to get a ride home. So how humiliating.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I didn't even play that year. I decided, you know what? I've got to change something. So I started lifting weights. Then they wanted me to come back. I went, no. So I played with the Rods. Played 2 years with the Rods. Had good years with the Rods. Had a lot of fun. And I've got to tell you, the guys we play with and the memories I have, it's funny. Everything's just all about professional. But I probably have some greater relationships with the guys I used to play in junior, whether it be junior hockey or junior football, going to the Villa, going to all these little watering holes and, you know, doing our thing. But you know what? I ended up going down there and getting a scholarship in the States. That was a great thing. It turned my tide, gave me an opportunity to get an education. But I still, to this day, my goal would have still been to play hockey. Loved hockey. I loved hockey. I played with the North Stars, and we had great years. We had great teammates, and all the guys. I mean, I had Carl Friesen played professional in Germany. Warren Skradansky played professional for Calgary Flames. We had some great guys. Kim Cosman, hell of a hockey puck. Kenny Sutherland, you know, his dad played for the Jets. And then, of course, me. And I played down there. And, of course, I I was there, I thought, for goal scoring, but I guess it wasn't. So
Not at that size.
I broke my fingers. Everybody goes, "Did you break your fingers in football?" Well, actually, it was in hockey a lot of times, right? Yeah, so it wasn't good. But anyway, long story short, yeah, hockey kind of ended abruptly on me, and I had to do something different. And I said, "Well, I'm going to put my money and my efforts into football," and I loved it. Listen, there's times I look back at it, and I've been away from the game since 2000 and what? I retired in '96, so I've been away for a while now. But the thing that I'm most proud of, I think that's weird for me is they'll go, "Well, yeah, you played a lot of years." I said, "Yeah, I played 16, but I was 40 years old when I left." 40.
Oh wow! Yeah,
don't try that at my age now.
No.
Me and Moses were roommates, right? Well, having said that, I made All-Star the last year I played, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is crazy, but I mean, the teammates and the friendships that I have still for these days, whether it's Frankie Smith in Alabama, whether it's John Helton in Calgary, all these guys are still brothers to me, right? And it's crazy how, as the years go by, and I don't know if it's because guys start passing on and going for the dirt nap, that I know it sounds terrible to say dirt nap, but you know what?
No.
Guys go the wrong way, right? They're gone. I think we start appreciating ourselves even more about the friendships and the fact that we played together. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, because one thing you'll know about me is I ramble and I'm a pinball. Pinball Clemens, best football player I've ever met, one of the nicest cats. We went to Louisiana together to introduce Shreveport to CFL. But that guy could talk. You don't ever want to speak after Michael Pinball Clemens. And for me, I just go, my mind just bounces around. My wife goes, "What are you talking about?" I'll be talking about a dog. Next thing you know, the garbage just out. It's just crazy. So that was your warning.
No, it's all good. Ramble on.
So how did it end up feeling to be ending up in Winnipeg after to play for the Bombers?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, obviously I got drafted number 4, first round in Montreal. Love Montreal. What a great city. Of course, I'm 23 or 22 years old. In Montreal, I hear about Montreal that you don't even go downtown till 11 o'clock at night, because that's when it starts. And I'm thinking, this is fantastic. And the women are so aggressive. Now, I got to put that in the right way. They're very nice.
Yes.
And I just was in love. We lived on Ile de Soeur, which is Nuns Island. I lived with Timmy Kist, who coached the Bisons. But we ended up, 6 of us lived there. And, there was a guy named Bob Geary, and Bob Geary was our general manager at the time. And this is a year that we played with. My teammates were Vince Ferragamo, Billy White Shoes Johnson, Keith Gary. I mean, I'm talking, and the craziest cat I've ever met, Junior Ayu. I mean, these guys are crazy. Like Junior Ayu was Samoan who would do a death dance.
Yeah.
I mean, he would dance in the locker room with this, and I'm not kidding you, with some kind of tribal stuff on, that I would reach for my wallet to give it to him. And he's like, "Oh, no, this is our locker room." Okay, keep my money? Okay, thank you, man. I mean, he just scared the hell out of you, man. But, I mean, it was just a great time. But anyway, Bob Geary, I guess, was forging my name on contracts. So back then you had a 4-man taxi squad, and they were bouncing me back and forth without me knowing. So I'd be on the active roster, then I'd be on the taxi squad, but I never knew about it because he was forging my name.
No way.
So Paul Robson found out about this, and through a network of using my family, called me, because otherwise it would be called, you can't do that. You're not supposed to.
Tampering.
Yeah, tampering. Thank you. So, and they phoned me one day and said, "Hey, Chris, there's a ticket for you at the airport, Montreal, if you want to come play for the Bombers." And I was sitting with these guys, and I was drinking with them that night. And I said, "What should I do?" And they said, "You got to do what you got to do. Don't worry about us. We're all going to be brothers for life." And there was about, I live with 6 guys, so 5 of us sitting in a room. Next thing you know, boom, I said, "I got to do it, man." Packed up my bag, caught the thing. They picked me up at the airport, and came to Winnipeg, and the rest is history, man. I just signed a contract extension. I actually got a raise, which was really cool.
Nice.
And my folks had no idea what's going on. They're not a real sports people at the time, so they had no idea. They just thought, "Oh, Christ, here comes he. He's back home. He's going to eat us out." Okay. My dad's name was Roy. Roy, back up the truck, bring some meat. He's hungry. So, I mean, it was not a good picture.
You mentioned like Billy White Shoes Johnson, Junior Ayu. What are some of the vets that took you under their wing at the beginning of your career and kind of guided you through professional football, whether it be in Montreal or in Winnipeg?
Well, in Montreal, not so much. It's funny because one of my teammates in Montreal was Wally Buono, who ended up being the coach of Montreal or BC Lions, and he was all over, who told me how to do curls. He would come up to me and go, son, if you want big biceps, follow me. And I was like, hey, look at you, little Italian. What are you trying to tell me, man? But then I realized that Wally ended up being, and actually it's funny because I can say it now because we're friends now. It's great. But I think the guys that really were influential on me were a couple of offensive linemen. And it's weird because you think it'd be defense because I was always defensive lineman. So when I went to Montreal, there was Keith Gary, there was Junior Ayu, there was Fuzzy. I'll think of his name right now. But he played a number of years. He's in the Hall of Fame. I actually inducted him in the Hall of Fame, which I thought was a great thing. And it was just weird. But when I came to Winnipeg, it wasn't so much. They had a party. Put it that way. The first day I pulled into Winnipeg, they had a party. They didn't even tell me. They didn't want me to come because they thought, here's an asshole who's going to take somebody's job. And they really were protective of their players because back then there wasn't this 1 year, free agent thing where you got to go to a new team. You're basically there for a long time, right? So they never told me. So it was Pete Kate and all these other guys. They never talked to me. But having said that, I only practiced for about 3 or 4 weeks, and they started putting me on tight end for short yardage. And my first game back in live was in Montreal, and I had to block Junior Ayu. And Junior Ayu said if I did it again, he'd kill me after the game. And I didn't know what to do. I said, well, career life. What am I going to do here? Thank God I only had to block him like 2 more times. I'm still alive, so I was okay. But then the offensive line coach said, you know what, Walls, you need to be on offense. And I went, no, come on, defense. I was All-American in the States. No. And the best move, Ellis Rainsberger was the offensive coach, said, you know what, you need to get on offense. Put me in offensive line. Next year I started at guard. 2 years later, I played at tackle. I played the rest of my life at tackle. But the guys that influenced me, Johnny Bonk, Nick Bastaya, Frankie Smith, big Bobby T. Bobby Thompson, who you might not remember, he used to actually be a bouncer at one of the hotels downtown in Winnipeg by Portage and the Perimeter. One of the nicest guys you ever met. And he was in Kansas. He used to be from Kansas. And I call him putting on a stick because he was so big up top, but he had little tiny sticks. And he was the first 300-plus guy I've ever seen. And I remember Stan Miklos, one of my close personal friends, went against him on one-on-ones. And Frankie or Bobby T hit him and separated his shoulder. Like he had such a two-handed shot.
Whoa.
But these guys would take you under. And actually, it's funny. Like Bobby T, rest in peace. He's up in heaven. But Frankie Smith's still alive. But Frankie still is a good friend, Alabama, fishes every day, sends me stuff. And if you ever go on his website, he's wearing bomber gear. It's unbelievable. And that's not only due to me, that's due to a guy named Harold Jackman, who used to play for the Bombers too in a short stint. Those guys are best buds. They swap stuff. I have an Alabama shirt, fishing club. I love it, man. Sorry, guys. I got off on that one again, too.
No, all good, all good.
Don't apologize.
Okay, well.
So we spoke with James Murphy and James West, and they mentioned that the 87 team was probably one of the better teams that you guys were a part of. In your view, is that 87 the best one, or what other team would you say ranked up there as being the best one?
I agree, 87. Yeah. I believe that 87 we lost to Toronto.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah, I was there.
It's funny they say that too because we had such a good team. That was Tommy Clements. Oh man, we had that was a great team. But yet the one that really bothers me most is the year we played Baltimore here. And we lost by 1 point to go to the Grey Cup. And I can't remember who fumbled. I don't want to say Blaze Bryant. I'm not Mike Richardson. I'm not sure which one of those great running backs. But anyway, it wasn't a fumble. His knee was down, but back then there was no replay. And Alfred Payton, who was just, you want to meet a guy that's probably the toughest defensive end I've ever played in my life is Alfred Payton. He recovered, and Baltimore ends up winning the game 13-12. We end up going home and packing our bags. That one haunts me more than the other ones. But for the best team, absolutely. I thought definitely that team you're talking about with Tommy Clements and all the boys, 87. Mike Kelly was our offensive coordinator. I don't know how we lost, but we should have. Listen, it's like 93. 92, we get pumped in that Grey Cup by the greatest player, Doug Flutie.
Al Green.
Right, man, he was just a stud.
No stopping him.
93, we've killed Edmonton. That's the year that Matt Dunnigan throws for 700 and something yards in a game.
Yeah,
amazing. And we kill the 2 times by Edmonton that year. We beat them by 50 points. Oh, we got 50 points on the board. Then Matt goes and unfortunately blows his ACL. I know his Achilles. And then we go with slinging Sammy Garza, who I love. Listen, this guy's a scout for Dallas Cowboys. Sammy's a great guy. He's also Cal's son-in-law. You know, he doesn't get any sleep because when Cal woke up, Sammy had to get up. You're not sleeping with my daughter. Sammy, get up. I just got, get up, Sammy. Anyway, so this is, and then at the day of the game, I remember I'll go to Sammy. Sammy, it's Grey Cup. Yeah, you can't wear black socks. I like black socks. Put white socks on, man. They don't look good in our uniform. Sammy is just a good cat, man. I love those guys, buddy.
So you have 3 Grey Cup rings, 84, 88, and 90. Are you able to pick a favorite of the 3?
Yeah, probably 84. And I think everybody would say that too, because it's the first one in 20-something years. So I can understand what the guys felt like in 2019. Going to play in Hamilton, that was the year we traded Dieter Brock, who was a great friend of mine still, with Tommy Clemens. And being down, I think, 17-3 early, and thinking, oh my, here we go. And then coming back and just basically dominating. And you think about the team we had with Joe Pop and all the guys, Tyrone Jones, who to me, rest in peace, was one of the tops, best I've ever seen at what he played. Yeah, it was just to me. And at the end of the year, at the end of the game, I guess I can remember we already got a game. We know it's in hand already. I think it's 47, whatever at the time. And it starts to snow. And I say this no longer. I talk to guys who go, it's like a snow globe. You feel like you're in a snow globe. It's not snowing hard, but it's snowing beautifully.
Yeah.
And you're watching the clock, and it's almost like the clock's ticking off. It's just going, tick, 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 but it's over. And you're just waiting for that final, gun to go off. It was just magic. And that at that time, the boys were doing cigars and champagne in the locker room. And I actually got 3 Grey Cups. I got 3 bottles of champagne. And then my oldest boy decided he liked champagne. So he broke into my champagne stash, drank all my champagne. And I said, Brandon, and I'll use his name because it is Brandon. What the hell are you doing, son? He goes, Dad, this shit tastes good. Yeah, well, you just drank 3 bottles of it, and I was going to give each one of you when you got married a bottle for a wedding present. He goes, well, Dad, I guess I can get married 3 times. Like, oh. Yeah, he's good.
At least someone enjoyed it. Someone enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't. Listen, I was not that happy as I'm portraying right now. I was not a happy camper.
Oh my goodness.
You mentioned Alfred Payton. Was he one of the toughest guys you faced in your career, or was there someone else that was tougher than that, or tough to go up against week after week? Or
there were so many great players. Listen, I mean, I'd be remiss because it's so hard to pinpoint one guy, right? I mean, Grover Covington, Mike Walker, Bobby Jurison. But Alfred was a special breed. Alfred was tough. Actually, Alfred ended my career. The last game I ever played in Winnipeg was in 1996 in a bullshit game. because we were going to playoffs next week in Edmonton. And I decided that they'd say, you got to play, Walls. We need you to play. So they shoot my knee up. And my knee's wonky at best already. I said, I need to rest my knee. But they're like, no, we need you to. Well, Alfred gives me a Duke move, goes right around. My knee pops, boom, put Sammy out, boom. And then I refused to go off the field on a cart, but it's done. And that was actually my last play that I ever played. But Alfred is, to have him as a teammate, the only guy I know in the world that picked up Miles Gurrell and threw him.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. In the
That's
locker
insane.
like he just grabbed him by the face mask. They're having a fight, fooling around fight, and he just picked him up. He'd walk in the locker room and bench 350 pounds, then walk back out. Never washed his stuff. Usually his socks, his shirt would be stiff. And he'd put it back on. I mean, it was just, he's one of those characters. And then when you think about his genes, his kid is an NBA star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how crazy it is. But I'll tell you what, the guy that I loved the best was, and I played against it's funny because you have as an old lineman, you have fraternity. So when we played in Sacramento, the first game ever, when we went to the States, all the Sacramento boys are going, hey, you got to hang with us, man. And Brett McNeil's like, well, we're not hanging with the enemy. I go, Brett, these are old linemen. These are brothers. No. I said, well, screw you. So we end up, and we go drinking, and we have just a blast with these guys. That's what it's all about, man. It is absolutely crazy to be with these cats. Yeah. I just had such a good time. And I realized, to go to a stadium, think about it, we were played in Baltimore where Johnny Unitas played. You're in legend material, right? Yeah. It was just what was your question?
You answered it. Yeah. Just what tough guys you played against.
Alfred. Okay. So obviously James Quick Parker.
Oh yeah.
My favorite though is that Bobby Jurison wore the Canadian bandana all the time, right? Played for Saskatchewan for years. He hates when I tell a story, but I tell it all the time because I like to rip him. And we're the last All-Star game we ever had was 1988, and the All-Stars played Edmonton, and we won actually in Edmonton. But Bobby's an All-Star, I'm an All-Star, and Bobby Aldag, Roger Aldag, Bobby Poley, we're all going out. We're just having a great old time. Well, I used to get in a game, and I get so cocky that I'd go to Bobby, it's a pass. And you go, F you, Walby. I go, no, it's a pass. We're throwing the ball right now. Come on. So he come out. He goes, son of a bitch. Oh, I don't like it. So what's he do? We're at the All-Star game in Edmonton, and I hear this about 3 a.m. Get your ass up, Walby. I come to the door. We're both in our skivvies. One-on-ones. Let's do it. We're doing one-on-ones in the freaking lobby or in our hallway.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
Lovely guy. Just a great, great guy. We joke all the time. You know what? That's one thing you can never take about this game. It wasn't about the money back then because you're not making as much money. Y'all had to have another job. The game has changed a little bit. Some guys making good money, and God bless them. I hope they all make enough money, but
yeah,
different game.
You mentioned Bobby Jurison, Roger Aldag. So that kind of leads me to the rivalry, the Labor Day rivalry with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. What are your thoughts on that? How heated really was it? Especially playing in the trenches there with the Roughriders.
I don't know how many games we won there. It wasn't many. It was always tough to play in Regina, Taylorfield. All I know is I remember going down and trying to cut a guy, and my whole freaking arm is chewed up. And I look at the turf, and there's no turf. It's concrete, and they spray painted it green.
Oh no!
There's not even. It's the worst It's like AstroTurf at your house. You buy that that indoor outdoor shit.
Yeah.
Put it down and it wore out, so they spray painted it.
Oh my God!
But the fans are crazy because I actually learned a couple lines. I heard a lot about what my mother did in her back career. They They would tell you your mother is a what? Yeah, it was crazy. It's one of my favorite places to play, though, and that's why they have. And I know the Bombers have a great fan base, but I'll say this: I think when I worked CBC for so many years, there was always a patch of green in every stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They are unbelievable fans, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, I know they're hurting right now. The fact they've gone to 2 West Finals in a row and lost. But they went against a team that, to me, like I don't know if we've had a better Bomber team. The last 2 years, I don't think I've ever seen. You asked about my favorite team. I said 87 was the best. These guys that they have right now with the Zach and all these guys, man, they're as tough as I've ever seen a football team. No weakness.
I agree. It's one of the most dominant teams I've seen in the past 30, 40 years.
And I'm happy to see Paula Police in Ottawa pulling all the guys they got.
Yeah.
Locally, this is parity. Well, that's what you want in the league. You don't want domination. You want parity. The Bombers lost, 8 starters, some to the NFL, but Ottawa picked up a ton of guys.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be really interesting to see how this league plays. But that gets me excited. That gets my juices flowing because I know everybody's talking three-peat. It's going to be very tough for the Bombers to three-peat. Because you know what? You got to still keep everybody healthy. Andrew Harris going to Toronto was a shocker. I knew he probably wouldn't come back when they signed Augustine.
Yeah.
But having said that, I never expected Toronto. I thought maybe BC, where he started.
Yeah.
Back, they got Canadians. They want to start a Canadian running back. But pinball, if anybody's ever made Pinball Clemens, unbelievable. You just want to be around the guy. He's got that aura about him, right? The magnitude.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he didn't end up in Saskatchewan, that's the main thing.
I was actually hoping that in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because the first game of the year is Saskatchewan. Can you imagine him coming out of the field?
That Labor Day in Banjable would be
that would
just
have been
nuts.
a fun time.
It's still going to be crazy when he comes back.
Yeah. Except Toronto doesn't play in Winnipeg, which is another weird quirk of the CFL schedule.
Who does this goddamn schedule?
The CFL schedule makers.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Last year we didn't get to see Ottawa.
Yeah.
How the hell don't you get to play a team in Ottawa? You only got 9 teams in the league.
It's nonsense.
It's like the guy. What are you doing? Over there, tequila, please. Where do I put Ottawa? Oh, fuck him. I won't play him. Bullshit, man.
they just throw the dice on the bar and see what happens.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's embarrassing. It really is. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't make sense at all. But hey, that's the CFL, right?
Yeah, longest league around, but still stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even a big fan of this global shit.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be working out too well, anyways.
Well, there's a couple. Hey, listen, if you could pull a couple diamonds out, and they did. The kid that plays for the Bombers here, Theodric Hansen's a hell of a football player.
Yeah.
And I know they got Les Mayo, another kid that plays here, but
you have John Ryan possibly losing his job to a global kicker.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can charge, or you can have a smaller salary with a global kicker than a Canadian vet. So.
And if we didn't need a punter, we don't need a punter. But somebody will grab him. I mean, obviously BC took the guy from Edmonton.
White, yeah, Sean White.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see Edmonton go after him. Depending who they got for punting. They have the other punter. I can't remember his name, but yeah. But John Ryan was making big money. Listen, kickers, come on. Let's not get carried away here. I mean, I love Bob Cameron. Bob Cameron played like he started what 1908. He punted through the Great Depression.
Yes.
I mean, him and Troy Westwood and Trevor Kennard used to drive me crazy. They'd be across the field where we had training camp at Brandon, and they'd be drinking their Slurpees as we're beating the shit out of each other because back then it was all contact. And they come over and kick a couple things. Oh, my leg's sore. I'll give you a freaking leg sore right away. Oh, yeah.
Good old kickers, eh? Good old kickers.
No.
So you mentioned about going to the booth. What was that like transitioning from the field, beating each other up on the field to now sitting in an announcer's booth and covering these games?
Well, it was interesting because I was going to come back and play one more year.
Oh.
But then it was Jeff Reinbold came, who I'm friends with now, but who did not like me. And he hired a new offensive coach. I think his name is McDermott. And he said, I want you to call Walby in the office. And I thought, okay, it's just, I had worked out with the trainer all year because I blew my ACL. I was in best shape probably I've been in a long time. And this coach goes to me, you're a bit of a rebel. And I go, pardon me? He goes, this conversation is not exactly what I thought was going to happen. Oh, you're a bit of an idiot. I heard you like to change plays in the huddle. You won't block certain things. You're opinionated. You're trying to devise the group. So I leave that room and I'm like, what the hell just hit me? I mean, it's like a hurricane on me. But I go back and then all of a sudden I get Don Whitman phones me. And Don Whitman phones me and goes, Walls, do you think you'd like to do a TV? And I go, no, probably not. I want to play. Chris, I want to tell you something. This window only opens once in a while. You might have to take up. It says, at least do me a favor. Let's come into CBC on Portage. Let's call a fake game. I won't lie to you. If it's not in your genes, I'll tell you. And then you go play. So I go call a game and he goes, you're in the wrong profession. You need to be in TV. So now I'm thinking, whatever. So CBC offers me money. I go, no, they offer me more money. No, they're almost offering what I'm making. So I'm like, okay, this is come on, even me banging my head in a wall, I'm thinking, maybe TV is where I got to go. So I go play TV. I say, okay, I'll sign. My first game ever is with Don Whitman in Calgary against Edmonton.
Wow.
And Don Whitman, the legend, says, okay, here's what we're going to do. Walls, you're going to do the quarterbacks. I'm going to do the running backs and the receivers. Hang on. 3, 2, 1, rehearsal, go. So I talk about the quarterbacks, and he talks about the running backs, receivers. That was great, Chris. I said, oh, thanks, Don. I'm really nervous. Like my ass is about as tight as it's ever been, right? Now it's live. Now we're live. And he goes, 3, 2, 1. And Don Whitman goes, so, Chris, what do you think about the receivers and the running backs? I go, excuse me? Oh, you son. I get through it, and he says to me, I just taught you lesson number 1. Always expect the unexpected.
Nice.
He threw me under the bus, but I landed it because I had enough, because we had depth charts. But I actually love Donnie Whitman. Donnie Whitman, another guy, RP. We came home and they were replacing him. And the guy they wanted to replace him with, who I ended up doing a bunch of games with, was Chris Cuthbert.
Wow.
And Donnie Whitman was upset, and we were drinking Black Russians on the way home. And he was just cursing. Not about Chris, but the fact that he had been such a special guy at CBC doing Olympics, and that's how but that's the business. That's the business. I did 10 years. And then he went, adios, amigos.
Just like that, eh?
Just like that. Bye-bye. And I went, that's okay. I loved it. I get to do other stuff like with you guys. I like to do a podcast. I do a lot of radio. I do a little spiel on the Bombers where I make Wade give me some money. Not a lot of money, let me tell you, but just some money. I still haven't got a goddamn burger.
You haven't had your Walby burger?
I've never had a Walby burger yet. And everybody goes, Walls, how do you like it? I go, I don't know. I've never tasted it.
Oh my God.
He's got to send me one day.
That's funny.
In the mail.
Oh, it's in the mail. All right.
I mean, you got to be happy you never played in that 97 season with Reinbold, right?
No, I was very happy. Actually, tell you the truth. And it's funny because after that year, or when Reinbold got fired, he came to work for CBC.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I said, we're out one night in the town having a few sodas. And I said, you got to be honest. Why did you not want me there? And he broke down and he actually told me the truth. He said he wanted to create his own team with his own image. And he didn't want any, older guys in there that might be disrupting where he wanted to go. And I respected for him. I said, well, why'd you just tell me that in the beginning? Instead of bringing a coach in who's starting to, basically crap on it.
Yeah. Would you be able to pinpoint a memorable game that you did color for?
Oh, God. That's a good question.
A playoff game or a Labor Day game, maybe?
I think you know what? I'm going to be a homer a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember doing my last game, I think it was 2007. And the Bombers were playing Saskatchewan. And that was the year that Kevin Glenn broke his arm the day that the final. And I think they went with the coach of the Toronto Argonauts right now.
Yeah, Ryan Dinwiddie.
Ryan Dinwiddie. And we ended up losing. That one kid had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
And it hurt me more in the booth than it hurt me on. I mean, and I felt bad for Milt because that was Milt Steele's last kick at it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably one of those things that stands out where I just said, wow, that's a team that in my mind, in all honesty, Kevin Glenn's in, they win.
Yeah.
They win.
Yeah.
But it just tells you injuries at the most inopportune times. Well, you can either, it destructs a team. And yeah, it did to them because they deserve to win and Milt deserved to win. And anybody who's played as long as Milton. And Milt, if anybody ever talked to Milt, the guy's a freak of nature. He's in great shape, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's got more abs than I've ever dreamed about. But mind you, O-liner, don't even say that. Look at you. Yeah. I'll just let that go right there. Okay.
Fair. Well, Milt's ready to make a comeback this year, right?
You know what? I think I know Milt, and Milt, I guarantee, threw that out there because of Arsenault and the guy at Edmonton. And he was thinking, what if I do get out? Because Milt's never spent a dime. I don't think he's ever spilled his per diem. The boys unless I played 2 years of Milt. Yeah. The man is THEAP. So let's just break that down. Now he does not commercials. I wonder what he's getting there because he must be getting a car. Right? I get beer named after me, and that's it. And then and it ends. Where's the rest of my beer?
That was a good beer, actually. I tried that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Torque to do it again, but we'll see if they do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
we did it for a fundraiser for Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
and I was hoping they do it again. I just kind of fell by the wayside, but yeah, I was hoping for it. But I think I was drinking too much of their product. I think that's what it was. Because I've been bankrolling it. Yeah. I got to go to the lake. You got any coolies? Oh, for Christ's sake, Walby. How much can you drink? I go, well, let's just keep a tally.
Yeah. What do you think, in your opinion? I mean, we've all seen the attendance issues in Toronto, all that stuff. BC is a struggle too. What do you think? And they've tried the global thing. What do you think the CFL needs to do to grow that attendance, especially in the East?
You got to make it kid friendly for one, right? I mean, to me, it's kids. They're the future of the game. I think that the fact that Toronto, I could talk about Toronto. They tried to do things with the the beer gardens and having the parties in the parking lot, which is great. I think it's a great first step. I like to see all leagues go back to that. I think the NFL has got it right. I know that a lot of people don't like that because you're emphasizing the drinking, but obviously, if the police are outside, you got to be smart, but still enjoy yourself. You get a DD. You get, some guys taking taxis. You can't just put everybody in the same lump. I think getting the fans and then marketing. Market the game. Yes. Don't be scared to market the game. I mean, we got a great game. God damn, we got a good game.
Yeah.
If you look at the NFL right now, they're doing almost all we're doing in offense. Same thing they're doing now. It's amazing how they've replicated what we do. And listen. And I'll just say this one thing because NFL, obviously, this weekend coming up. I don't want you to show this, but I'm picking Cincy. Just want to throw it out there. Right?
All right.
I picked them too. So
I like Cincinnati. I like what the Burrows has done. But yeah, I think they got to do that. I mean, if you look at the markets right now, Montreal, which was a great market, and then Wettenhall left, passed on.
Mm-hmm.
They need to bring that market up. Toronto and BC, but BC's got a new owner who I really like. I think BC's going to do really well. And it also comes down to spend some money and bring some talent in. Your product has to be good. If you're just saying, I'm going to get fans coming here and I'm putting out a garbage product all the time, you're never going to get anybody, right? You got to have a product. And I think BC is signing a lot of guys. I think Rick Campbell's out there going to do a good job. Paula Police in Ottawa, I think, is going to do a good job. He's on a bit of a hot seat this year.
Yeah.
I think that a guy that I worked with at CBC and Kahari Jones, he's in a hot seat in Montreal.
Yeah.
So you want to see these guys be well. You want to spread the wealth. And that's what I talked about earlier. I said a long time ago. parity. Give me parity in the league, and everybody will be happy. Make it close, make it exciting. Because CFL is a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. The NFL is doing, especially on the offensive side of the ball, everything they can to replicate what's going on up here. Other than making the field bigger, they're doing everything they can.
The only thing the NFL does which drives me, which I love, I shouldn't say drives me nuts. I have complained to TSN on more than one occasion right now. When I used to work for CBC, I had one camera dictated totally to the offense and defensive line. Because any coach worth his, worth anything, worth his salt, will say the game is always won in the pit. It's won in the pit. Show me what's going on in the pit. Don't show me the pretty boy and the catch and the pretty boy and the catch and the run. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at, Johnny went up in one hand, but he couldn't keep his foot down. There's Johnny's grandma waving him on the fence. I don't really care about Johnny's grandma or the foot that he get down. Show me Bobby bulldozing the asshole right to the backfield.
Yeah.
I want to see shit like that. And I think the NFL does a great job, whether it's going to be like even the LA Rams are going to play with Donald. That's what I like to watch. And maybe it's because I'm an old lineman, so maybe I'm a little bit, swayed by this. But I think people like to see that. Yeah, they want to see what's going on, not just the guy, throwing a ball and the guy catching the ball.
Absolutely.
So that's just my personal, whatever.
Yeah, we preach that a lot here at the Ray and Benny Talk Sports, where the games are won and lost in the trenches.
Amen.
And personally, I'd love to see that on TV more. So I'm with you 100%. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Bomber Nation? What they've built, Kyle Walters, Mike O'Shea, and of course, Wade Miller. They built something really special here. What are your thoughts on the organization, where we're at, and what we look like going into 2022 with this team?
Well, I think the fact that some guys come back and take less money they can get elsewhere, to me, is the biggest indication. You saw Adam Bighill. He took a pay cut last year. He bit it in the backside, had an outstanding year, won NLP as a defensive player. He's not still getting paid what he should. Jefferson took some money. He could have got way more money moving. Jackson Jeffco could have got way more money moving. But the Bombers and Wade and a lot of it is Wade and Kyle. But if your coach is a dickhead, you're not going to want to play here. Michael O'Shea he really is. And I love the fact that he's a player's coach. I love the fact this guy, he'll sit down with you and have a cold one with you, and he'll tell you the truth. Now, he's very, very secretive when it comes to press conferences, doesn't want to tell you about injuries. I don't blame him about that. I like a guy to keep shit in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I love the culture. I mean, the fact, I don't know what I'd be. These guys got a professional chef that cooks their dinners and lunches. We had to go to Eastside Mario's, eat chicken wings and drink beer. Now, I'm not complaining because I liked it, but still, these guys were it's just a different attitude right now. No contact anymore. You only hit once a week. I don't think they even do that anymore. Training camp, you're allowed 2 or 3 days of full contact.
Yeah.
I'm in glory. I'm serious. You know what? I'm so excited I have a cigarette. Back then, we beat the hell out of it. And Cal Murphy's motto was, the practice will kill you. The game's going to be easy. Yeah. And that was the game. That was the mentality, right? But no, I think to answer your question, I think that Kyle and Wade and Mike, especially Mike, have created something very, very special where players want to come and play here. I saw that comment that Simone Lawrence made, which is going to create a big stink, obviously, when he said, who wants to play in Saskatchewan? Right? So that's a shitty thing to say, but that's what he said. So he put it out there. Now, whether he was doing some reverse psychology of somebody who's going to sign there and, he's trying to get somebody to come back to his place, it'll be interesting to see how that goes because, I mean, I know they signed Daryl Sankey, who's the leading tackler in the CFL, great football player. And they've got a group of linebackers, and they signed Duke Williams. And Duke's probably thinking, hey, I got 260. How did Kenny Lawler get 300?
No doubt.
But Kenny Lawler did not get any guaranteed money, right? No signing bonus.
No signing bonus, yeah.
So he'd get cut. I mean, I could sign a $2 million contract today, brother, and they're going to go like this. Sorry, buddy, you're not good. You're done.
Yeah, especially with
Chris. Gonna get cut.
With Chris Jones though, there you never know if he has a rough 6 weeks or something. Jones probably won't hesitate to cut him at some point quickly or move on to him.
Look who he's trying to get. He's trying to pull back. What's his name? The guy he put on offense. Really? Oh, come on.
Duron Carter.
There you go, brother. He's trying to pull him back. I guarantee he'll be back. Oh
yes,
yes. Look at. Think about that lineup: Carter, Emmanuel Arcina. What's his name?
Darius Bowman.
Kenny Lawler. They got some studs. Now you might have to hold the ball a little bit to get these guys downfield. They're like, there he goes. Oh my God, he just lost a cane. He shook one coverage. We'll be back with the commercial right after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Fajardo was already running around quite a bit last year when they were playing the Bombers, especially. So he's gonna have to buy a lot of time.
Fajardo. Oh, I like Fajardo. He's a nice guy. You know what? Listen, I hope Saskatchewan is good. I don't know who they've really signed that's really excited me.
They've been quiet.
And I hate that. Hamilton signed Micah Johnson from Saskatchewan, and they got Ted Laurent, and they got that other Dylan Wynn, Dylan Wynn. They got some monsters in the middle.
Yeah.
You got Armando Sewell in Montreal. You got all these guys. The kid that in Winnipeg is going to be really good, though. I think it's going to be this kid named Casey Sales. Mm-hmm. I like this kid. I like him. He's good. They lost to Stove, Richardson to BC. Yeah. But I like this Casey Sales. I think his kid's going to be good. So sometimes, one door closes, another opens, and a guy comes in. That's how you become a star, right?
Absolutely. Opportunities knocking for him. I agree.
Amen, brother.
So, Chris, you're a part of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, CFL Top 50 Players, Winnipeg Blue Bombers Hall of Fame. You were the first guy inducted into the Ring of Honor at the Bomber Stadium. Woo-hoo! And top 20.
Keep going, baby. Come on.
Top 20 Bomber great. Is any one of those stick out more significance for you, or are they all on the same kind of level?
Yeah, it's weird, man, when you think about it.
Plus many O-lineman awards that you got over the year, too.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, but the O-line awards, and I think anybody's won them, and Stanley Bryan will say the same thing. Well, I think it's one of the best offensive linemen I've ever seen play. Very consistent. You need a good line with you. If your O-line is not playing well and you're playing well, you're still not going to get recognized. You have to have a line that's playing well. It's a group thing, and one guy unfortunately gets the accolades. No, I think the Ring of Honor is pretty special for me that I could have my whole family there for that. Hall of Fame obviously is a big thing, but I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just think it's just, it's weird. I don't know. I look at it sometimes, I think, yeah. And I always said that when I'm done playing, I will appreciate it more. And yet my kids, I think, are more excited sometimes. If they can go to Subway and get a 10% deal because of me. Then they're happy. I don't think it matters. You know what? I've never been a guy that really wants to get caught up on that stuff. I love the fact that I've achieved what I've achieved, but in all honesty, without a team, and I really stress that team, and I don't want to use that acronym, but team, together everyone achieves more. But that's what it is, man. I mean, I'm just one individual in a great chain of guys, and that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. James West used the same acronym. Together, everybody.
He's one of my best. He's one of my best guys. I mean, he used to say that Walby comes off the bus, we got a 7-point lead.
He said that too. Yes, he said that as well.
Yeah. I tell you, see, he's always been a good guy. And listen, I love that. This is the thing that I love more than anything is the teammates that we've had, and the relationship we have. And the things we can say to each other that I can never say on air to each other. I could go on. One day I'll tell you stories about Rod Hill, myself, Bobby Molly. I mean, we just had so much fun, man. It's just when you got a good locker room, you got a good locker room.
Yeah.
And we had a good locker room.
James Murphy said the same thing. He had some stories that he could tell us one day. So maybe we'll have you guys all on at the same time.
You know what? We should do that one day because I'll tell you what, he is one of my favorite. Rod Hill's one of my favorite. I'll tell you a guy you guys need to speak to, though. It has Bobby Cameron. And don't say it because I don't want him to think I love kickers. But Bobby is seriously the Rolodex of memories. Okay. He is the best. I mean, he's got stories up to kazoo. When I go out and have beers with Bob, he'll pull shit out that I don't even remember. I go, oh, do you remember? Oh, yeah. Like, Bob is just great. I love Bobby. And then Troy, I give Troy craziness because I'll bring out one of his albums when he was on Little Hawk.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah.
And then I get mad. I go, hey, you're in that band, Chicken something, right? And he just gets all, Bobby, I worked with you 6 years in TSN radio. You know the name of my bloody band. Oh, that's right. Little Chicken. And then he goes nuts on me. Okay. Fellas, I got to go, buddy. I have to go. My wife's yelling.
For sure. Well, we thank you for taking the time to be with us. Boys. It was such an honor. You're one of the, like I said, the most requested guests. And you threw down the name Stan Mickawa, so maybe we got to get both of you in between the lines and we can talk about the trenches and how the game was won and lost.
I'll do that in a heartbeat. I was just having cold ones before he got here with Stan.
Oh, nice.
But his truck blew up.
Oh, not so nice.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
So he's all, he blew up something in his truck. One thing I'll tell you, if Stan was here, I'd tell him that cheap SOB he is. never buy a truck with 3 wheels. All right, guys. Love you guys. Hey, listen, so anytime, contact me again. We can do this anytime you want, guys. Because I really, first off, again, I apologize for the delay.
No problem.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Wait.
You guys have a great night.
Do it again.
You
too.
All
right, boys. I gotta go have a cold one.
Thanks.
Okay, we do too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting.
Bye. Friends and neighbors, that was Chris Walby, Canadian Football League Hall of Famer, Blue Bomber legend, hometown boy. What a pleasure it was. What a pleasure it was to have him. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a like for future guests. What guests do you want to see on Ray and Benny Talk Sports? Benny, do you have anything to say to the people?
Nothing at all. I just got to say that was a fantastic interview having Walby on. Great talking to him. Have a good week.
Yeah, and keep following us for more special guests on Ray and Benny Talk Sports. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.